It has been confirmed that it is the responsibility of the Southmoreland School Board of Education to maintain the district in a fiscally solvent state. Therefore, based on that, Fike-Alt and myself took this very seriously, and we developed a reorganization plan for the district that we believe will keep us financially solvent and retain a significant number of jobs. Our district is faced with a very major declining student enrollment. We have an eroding tax base and increasing expenses in multiple areas. Pensions are one, healthcare is another. These are two of the very significant ones. Between 2000 and 2010, we lost 455 students. It is predicted by the Pennsylvania Department of Education that we will lose 110 more students by the year 2017. The building in which you now sit was built, and at this time we owe about $44 million on this combined elementary middle school building. And the way that is calculated is a debt plus the interest equals $2,750,800 a year until the year 2029, in addition to payments for retirement bonuses that continue until the year 2016. Pension costs rise very sharply, and health insurance is also expected to increase in price. In light of these facts, the 144-page specifications of the elementary and middle schools were reviewed to evaluate capacity at this site. To deal with these, among other issues, this reorganization plan is submitted by Directors Dr. Fike and Mr. Alt to ensure the future fiscal stability of the Southmoreland School District, taking into consideration the demographic and economic concerns, and in coordination with other cost-cutting measures. Overall, this plan, as presently organized by the Southmoreland School District in the Piper-Jaffray report, and I'll refresh your memory on that, that is the report used by Piper-Jaffray to refinance our bonds and to establish the credit rating for the school district. This plan places the school district on two campuses, K-6 in Scottdale and 7 to 12 at a junior-senior high school in Alverton. The Southmoreland Primary Center in Alverton will be closed. Now let's look at the data on which our new plan is based. The organizational pattern for elementary, you look at K-6, which is the elementary school and the middle school. The capacity is 1,416 students. If we look at the junior-senior high school under this plan, grades 7 through 12, the high school will have 1,030 students. Dr. Monar spoke frequently that the Department of Education measures full capacity of a building to be 90%. At the elementary and middle school, we will have 1,274 students. At the high school, there will be 927 students. So when we look at this new K-6, 7 to 12 pattern, we see that the building capacity, K through 6, in the elementary middle school building, the capacity being 1,416 students, the new enrollment with this plan will be 1,037 students, which allows for even 379 more students to be enrolled. If we look at the Department of Education standard, the percentage of occupation in that building is 73.2%. In grades 7 through 12, which will be the junior-senior high school, the building capacity is 1,030. The new enrollment is 954, and that allows for 76 more students, and that would be using the building at a 92.5% capacity. When we look at the combined totals, we have space for 2,446 students, we have 1,991 students, and our average building capacity is 82.9%. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with the fact that in our athletic program for football, we have been downgraded to a status that is commensurate with having a small school district. When you look at districts that have comparable populations, it is extremely common that they have the K-6 junior, senior high school pattern. This is very common throughout the state when you have small school districts, and that's what we are now. There has been concern about the location of the administrative offices. They're presently down on Parker Avenue in Scottdale, and we think there are three options. First, they can stay there. Put the money back into the building, do whatever you have to do, just stay there. But the second option is for them to use excess space at the elementary middle school building. When you look at the 144-page specs, drawings, and so forth, you'll notice that there are a lot of meeting rooms, conference rooms. In fact, I believe in both buildings there's rooms set up for assistant principals. We have no assistant principals in those buildings. So there's a lot of space that's available. The third thing they can do is use a portable building or install a prefabricated structure either at the elementary school or at the high school adjacent setting. Any of these options would be acceptable. It is not necessary to keep everyone in the administration office together. You can split them up. For example, to me it makes a lot of sense to put the athletic director, who's at the administration office, at the high school where the bulk of sports and sports activities occur. Let's look at some of the effects of closing the primary center, which will save huge amounts of money. First of all, let's look at the state mandate regarding nursing ratios. They require we have one nurse to 1,500 students. Right now, we would have 3 nurses for less than 2,000. Therefore, there should be no problem with the consolidation of the student body to eliminate one nurse, retain one nurse K-6 and one nurse 7 to 12, and even that is much more than is required by the Department of Education. You also have a complete library at the primary center. You're not going to bring another library down here, so it eliminates excess library staff. All of the custodial staff that is required to maintain that building are not necessary, and they can work elsewhere. You will be eliminating one entire cafeteria and all the excess staff that go with that. Very importantly, and we'll talk about this again, you eliminate busing to the Southmoreland Primary Center building. There's a full-time elementary guidance counselor out there. You retain one guidance counselor K-6, and you continue to have 2 for the junior, senior high school. You cannot just let the building sit unattended, so you only have minimal maintenance and mowing at that site. You also eliminate the need for all snow and trash removal, and this is not cheap. We would review clerical staffing needs, all of the clerical supports, and look at the present levels that we would need then with consolidation. We would retain almost all teachers except excess teaching staff with grade class restructuring. I want to point out that if our school district goes into bankruptcy and the state takes over, they establish a 26-student minimum in each class. You would also eliminate all but the very basic utilities and insurance costs at the primary center. You'll have to keep some heat on, you have to keep it insured. But then we can look at selling or having an auction, because we'll have all this excess furniture, supplies, and equipment. All of that would be money that comes into the district. Another option, and this is something that would have to be discussed, you can change all but those students who have special needs to a half-day kindergarten if necessary and finances are strained, so that we can avoid another tax increase on an impoverished population. I want to point out that as much talk as goes on about the early grades and early intervention in the state of Pennsylvania, kindergarten is not required. It is an option. We would have no need for more music sites, K to 6. There are 2 of them now, from what I could see on the drawings. One of them can be turned into classrooms. You evaluate the need for these multiple principal, assistant principal's offices and staff at SCS and SMS. Those rooms can be used for many other reasons. You can consolidate a number of the workrooms, meeting rooms, IPC rooms, etc. In the junior-senior high school, it is a common practice to use the auditorium for study halls to free up classrooms. When we toured the 3rd floor of the high school, there were these huge classrooms that were being used for study halls. That is not necessary. You would also be able to consolidate technology equipment, and you can schedule use of various rooms. Commonly in large areas, they install portable and movable walls when necessary. But this item I want you to think about. Our bus contract has expired. We are now going to be taking bids, getting bids, and in my mind, in Mr. Alt's mind, if you never have to send a bus up to the primary center at any point in time, it's got to be cheaper than sending buses to Scottdale, to the primary center, to the high school, all on different schedules. All kids K to 6 go on one time schedule, and a second group goes on another time schedule at the higher level, and you would eliminate excess busing. I don't think there's anybody in this room who has not gone to the gas station and gassed at $3.89 a gallon for gas. Now, we pay a little bit less than that, but I can tell you that this upcoming bus contract is not going to be a trivial matter, and I think this issue could really have a serious impact on this plan. Mr. Alt and I asked you to look at this. We're asking the board to consider this, but most of all, because we have been told that it is our responsibility to keep the district in the black, I am asking all other board members to submit their plans so that we can keep our district solvent and continue to offer quality education programs. Thank you.